The 2026 golf season is here at Golfdom and Worldwide Golf. Oh, you heard me, it's here. Maybe not outside your window where there's snow and ice and frozen dormant grass, but it's here and alive with your upcoming winter golf getaway. It's here as you think, I need a new travel bag, like my Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian model, the best damn travel bag I've ever owned. Or maybe you want some great high-tech thermal golf outerwear as you steal a few rounds on a 45-degree day here in the DMV. Or maybe the golf season is here as you get ready to stock up on ammunition for the season by going into Golfdom and shopping for the right ball for your game and talking to their trusted golf-savvy reps in store. All about the options you have today and then getting at least enough to make it through, 4th of July. So just like the new season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, and Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the Worldwide Golf logo and get the best for your game.
In the shadow of the most powerful city in the world, the Capital Golf Gang is on the air with instructor John Ronis from Beacon Hill Golf Club, Executive Director of the Middle Atlantic PGA, John Gould, and Worldwide Golf Executive and former owner of Golfdom, Buddy Christensen. And now your host, sports radio legend in the DMV, Steve Zabin.
Episode 2 of 2026 Capital Golf Gang. We are snug inside the center fitting bay, the Callaway fitting studio, I should say, here at Golfdom and Tyson's Corner. And it is a cold January Friday, but the gang is here. Say hello to Director of Golf at the newly resurrected Beacon Hill in Leesburg, John Ronis. How are you, my friend?
Fantastic.
Good. Buddy Christensen, who's been here, there, and everywhere. A lot of California trips for you for the Worldwide Golf Empire. How are you?
Good. It's not as good as the 80 degrees and sunny day I had yesterday, but I was in an office, so it wasn't even that great.
I bet. And Chris Johnson of the Salute Military Golf Association with that new dad energy, fresh off of the Commanders season, which was a season from hell. Executive producer of the Commanders Radio Network. How are you, my friend?
Very good. More fired up about SMGA's 20th year than the Commanders these days right now. Yes.
Let's go. What do we got planned, and how can this little show be a part of it?
Well,
let's talk.
We have a lot of things planned around the country. We launched the organization here in the D.C. area in 2006, quickly expanded and served veterans in all 50 states through the great game of golf. And we have a number of tournaments going on throughout the country, other events, things like that we always participate in. I just got actually off the phone with Hootie and the Blowfish tour manager. They've been a big supporter.
Nice.
We have our normal event going on, but a little bit more going with it down in Myrtle Beach during Masters weekend with them. So a lot of different things we can talk about throughout the next couple months.
You like the strong pitch energy that CGG
I love it.
has
It came
come
right out of the box, too, by the way.
Love it. And by the way, you don't have to hold this. It
I
stays
know.
right there.
I know. It's this one's sort of bouncing back and forth.
Oh,
I
does
just
it
wanna-
really?
You know,
Producer's
it's
name.
the old little radio deal where I,
Hey, everybody.
eat the mic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you captain speaking here.
I'm always
Yeah.
in the booth, I'm like closer. You know, you get the mic like
I
right
love it.
beside
Switch to
there.
camera
Eat
2.
the mic.
Camera 2. Switch to camera 2.
I love it. We have a absolute cornucopia of stuff to talk about this week. Of course, starting with Brooks Koepka's return to the PGA Tour and the price to pay. Pay unto Caesar what is owed to Caesar, and it's a lot of money. Anthony Kim has requalified for the Boombox and Shorts Tour. We all want to give him his due on that one. I got more on what happened at Kapalua after I listened to No Laying Up in their interview with Mark Rolfing. And I got some TGL stuff, which will excite you, buddy. And I got some gear and some fashion news as well today.
That is a big show, man. 2 hours.
So we're going to do this in an hour. So let's get to it. 5 million reasons to hate the Live Tour. Apparently that was the number that Brooks Koepka looked at and said, okay, sure. $5 million fine to charity or donation to charity, and more financial clipping of his wings by not being eligible to collect player impact program bonuses for the next 5 years, FedEx Cup points, monetary bonuses for this year. This is, to me, staggering the amount of money that he willingly forwent. And I know you're going to say, but he signed for 100, right? Did he sign? What did Brooks Koepka sign for with the Live? Any ideas?
I don't remember.
Rumored. It was never published, but just rumors. CJ will look that up on the end. I'm trying to think of the last time an individual, even an NFL owner, paid a $5 million fine for anything. That's incredible.
5 for 125
Yeah.
was his original Live deal.
In the big scheme of things, he's got it to come back. But the amount of money that he paid and the amount of money he's going to forego in the next several years is substantial enough that it makes me start to think, how much did he hate the Live Tour and why did he hate it? Ronas, you're first up on this.
Well, wow, that's a lot to unpack. He didn't like the Live Tour because of the level of competition, and his relevance in the game of golf had gone away. And Brooks Koepka is a relevance guy. He wants eyes on him. Even though sometimes he doesn't act like that, he wants eyes on him, and he wants to shine at the highest stage. Well, the Live Tour didn't provide any of that for him. He also doesn't want to look to, he already thinks golf is a little bit of an embarrassment that he's not a baseball player, he's golf, and then golf on the second tier tour. It's not even the second tier really anymore. It's probably third or fourth relative to PGA tours.
It's a European Ryder Cup semi-retirement tour at this point.
So in that relevance, I think he was embarrassed of the whole situation.
I think that's a great read, by the way.
And he
Buddy,
had to get back in.
Buddy, your read on why he was willing to pay so much to get back in.
Well, first of all, you take that percentage and you say, yes, I know you're going to say the 100 turns out 125. Well, that's even 5 million of the extra 25 he got over the 100. So that factors in.
Okay.
Right? So if you were to be given a bonus for the next 10 years of your life and you get 2 years into it and you're like, all right, I can give back 5% of what I got there and go back to what I want to do. Okay, we'll do that. So I think the money does matter. The lack of loss of money compared to what he got in does play into it.
Although the $5 million really turns into, they said, up to $80 million.
Correct, with the future earnings.
Yeah.
And so there is that, but, he's happier. I would imagine.
Well, he
going
has
back
to be.
Right. Or he thinks he's going to be.
Right.
So if you're happier and you're still doing well in all these things, you go for it. Now, the other thing is, and I don't know any of this one way or the other, but who knows how much of this kind of back end they could kind of say, hey, you're going to go do this out in front of everybody, take this penalty, take that. But maybe there's a way they could help him out. Just suspicious to it.
Silent rebate coupons from Brian Rolap is what you're asking?
Well, just, it looks like he's suffering a huge penalty. Maybe he's suffering a minor
I think
penalty.
Rolap's stunned by him agreeing to this.
Well, wait.
I don't think there's a whole lot of negotiation involved. I think it's like, okay, let's just throw this. Let's see what he gets.
So wait,
okay.
you think Rolap threw out a number that he didn't expect anyone to jump at?
Totally.
Okay, hold that thought, because I didn't even think that. CJ, you get it on record here.
Here's the one bizarre thing about Brooks Koepka is that this is a guy who's basically been defined by major championships or playing in majors.
He has more majors than regular tour wins.
He has one more major win than an actual tour win.
Yeah.
So, and he was basically capable of playing in every major, especially with his wins and exemptions and that sort of thing. So it wasn't your regular, run-of-the-mill Wells Fargo that really seemingly mattered to him, but now it does.
So why?
But maybe that, you said it. He needs to compete, and maybe he doesn't need to go win. But
I think
he needs to not be embarrassed anymore. Being on the PGA Tour is no longer embarrassing.
Yes.
Being on the tour of
the shorts,
losers, these guys,
the
just
Shorts
golfers.
and Boombox Tour.
Yeah.
And we're going to change our team name. There's two teams that have changed names. I got to get into this later for a second. But CJ, just finish your thought there about the way Brooks Koepka must be thinking.
Well, I think that's it. I mean, that's the only way you have to, subtract this down or whatever, is just say that he wanted to compete with the best in the world, and he knew this isn't it. And whether that was translating into major championships, and he didn't feel like he was prepared, and he didn't have he was the right mindset anymore in the last 10 that he hasn't won. I think the last 10, so. Maybe that was his mindset. Maybe he just felt like this tour is a joke, and I'm not training and practicing the way that I was week to week on the PGA Tour for major championships. My game is falling off. My focus is falling off, that sort of thing. And I need to get back to that. And that's really why I started playing golf a long time ago.
And even if it wasn't that he wanted to compete on that tour, he does want to compete, obviously, but he needs to be on that tour.
Right.
He needs to be on that team so that he can have some relevance and some respect. This, going back to Rolap, if you look at the terms, this was specifically made in mind for 4 people.
We're going to get to that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, go ahead.
Because
I'm
of the
sorry.
years
Right.
that were put in there for when you last won a major. It was specifically in there for Rahm, DeChambeau, and Koepka. And maybe Joe Dirt, they want it back in there, but time I talked to him, he's a great guy, but he just wants to go fishing. He doesn't care. So those are the 4 guys that are now eligible according to their rules. And I really do think, Zabe, he threw the first one out there and was like, you know what, we'll throw this out there, and then we'll make it look like we're giving in a little bit by giving some back after they say no. First guy off the hook. First guy's right on the hook. Boom, reel him in.
Fish on.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
yeah, but maybe ask for 10, and Brooks talked him down. But
Maybe.
But I do. The funny thing is the years 2022, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not a 5-year.
Yeah.
It's not a 10-year. It's
yeah.
a 3.5 year.
Of course.
Like,
Yes, we're going to get into that. So the other thing is, it's not like he I do agree, Ronas, that he is one of these influencer culture douches who loves to be relevant and cool, and
Yeah.
he was with a bunch of nerds. The running joke me and my golf buddies used to have is, I bet he goes on the range and he kicks Spieth's bag over and says, "Hey, nerd, what are you working on?"
Yeah.
You know, just to bully him, because
Yeah.
that's his personality,
Yeah.
Bruce Koepka. So he didn't even dominate, though, this tour of nerds.
He didn't care.
I know, but, like,
right.
part of me is, okay, bro, you think they're losers. Why didn't you beat any of them? Look at this. Here you go. 31st this year in 2025. Let's go to 2024, see how he finished. 5th. Okay, not terrible. 2023, 3rd. All right, 2022, 8th. Okay, but I mean, it's not like he was 1-1-2-1
How many
in his
did he-
4 years there.
Does it show how many he won? I'm just curious.
Are you talking team events for the?
Because it's who cares? Who cares how he doesn't care, because even at the end, if he's won, no one cares about that.
That is true. And
I-
then, yeah.
No, I just think it falls into, let's say like here in D.C., how many times did we give bags and bags of money to a free agent who came here like
Albert Hainsworth,
whoever, Dana Stubblefield, name a bunch
Donovan
of these guys.
McNabb.
Name a bunch of these guys, and you give them bags of money, and then they
don't care.
They don't show up in the Albert Hainsworth doesn't show up in shape to even practice, to even
Right.
pass a
Because they're
conditioning
not,
test.
and they're not at that time. They're not Redskins, back then.
And
Yeah.
your motivation changes.
Right.
We saw it with Dustin Johnson right away, and that was somebody who we already knew was struggled to motivate on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
They gave him $150 million or whatever, and it was like, see you later. Last we heard of him,
I
Don't
also
forget.
think. I also
What'd you
No,
expect?
just don't forget though. He also did his brother a solid, taking $125 million, bringing him on that tour.
Oh, that's right.
Sure.
His brother got a couple years out of it.
Sure.
That he made way more money he was going to make.
Luigi Koepka. What was his name again?
Chase.
Chase.
Chatter
right.
case. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Back when they would let anyone on the tour, basically. If
right,
like,
right.
hey, can you bring my brother along? So here's the other thing about Koepka. I'll tell you why he paid such a steep price to get back. Just look at these 4 things here: Riyadh, Adelaide, Hong Kong, Singapore.
Yeah.
This dude likes going to Panther games, CJ. You didn't want to fucking be flying across the world to play in these stupid things and then get on the first tee. Brooks Koepka.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to tee it up at Medalist and then go to the Blue Martini that night afterwards for
Yeah.
happy hour
Right.
and cocktails.
Right.
Like that's it. Go to Panther games. He'd be a bro, basically.
Sure.
So
here is the terms of the deal. This is part of the new returning member program, which is something that Rolap and company, along with Tiger, just cooked up out of thin air.
yeah.
This is like a
on
new
a Zoom call.
It's like a new Costco program. Oh, you're part of our returning member program. So penalties, including 2 years, players who've been off the tour for 2 years and won a Players Championship or a major between years 2022 and 2025 are eligible. Why? Reasons. That's why. Of course, they don't explain why that's the cutoff. And the 5 years of lost tour equity could be 50 to 85 million. $5 million charitable contribution, but Brooks is in for the Farmers Open and the WM Phoenix this winter. So there's that. The Phil angle is interesting because Phil would have been in if there was 2021 included.
Yeah.
And that can't be an accident, can it?
No.
No. Of course it's not.
But, I mean, what was he going to come back and be on the Champions Tour? I mean, Phil couldn't have come back.
That's what I also think.
Right.
Well,
There's
that's
no-
my... Go ahead,
No,
CJ.
no, I just think, like, I mean, we obviously know there's a lot of phoniness to Phil, but how could he actually walk this back and go back over to the PGA Tour? Like, there's no way.
Agreed.
Because of how much damage he's done.
Yeah, so
yes.
much-
Yeah.
Do you think
just-
the people? You think if he walked down? I think this is the question that I have because there's insanity in the world that I can't comprehend. If he walked down the PGA Tour first tee in a PGA
Would he
Tour
get
event,
booed?
would he get applauded?
Yeah,
and
by
I think
some
he
people.
would.
But
I mean-
few. I don't know how many.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the larger point, you're right, CJ. He was never coming back. He can't come back. He's a total pariah. And he's beyond really being competitively relevant at this point because he's starting to really leak oil and smoke a bit when he's out there on his game. And the other thing is, his family might be in duffel bags if he were to do that.
Well,
so I don't know
yeah.
if I want to.
And that's what I
don't
think
know if I
those,
wanna attempt
those
that.
responses from DeChambeau and Rahm right now.
Oh, we're gonna get to
were
those
those
responses.
tempered responses. I have one quick question if you guys could answer
By the
it
way,
for me.
Alan Shipnuck, I want you to see this tweet here. Somebody said they chose 2022 on purpose so Tiger could screw Phil, right? And Shipnuck says 4D chess by Woods, who never forgets or forgives.
Yeah.
So even though it was certainly unlikely, if not impossible, for Phil to come back, Woods wanted to let it be known we're making a point of you ain't welcome.
That's great.
Go ahead.
Pat Perez was also reinstated.
Right.
But he has no ability to play on the tour, right?
Dude, check this out. I got
'Cause
some.
I don't
amazing-
understand this.
I have
Okay.
some amazing numbers for you on
This
Pat
is
Perez.
senior, though.
Well, so-
Senior tour.
because
That's what he's gonna-
he's about to
yeah.
turn. He's about to turn 50 on
Okay.
March 1st.
Okay.
So he's not.
Okay.
He's not coming back, and nobody wants him on the PGA Tour. It's not. There's no relevance there. Check out this though. In his entire PGA Tour career, so essentially 30 years of playing on the PGA Tour, because he started playing tour events. He might have played when he was a teen because he was one of those SoCal superstars. He earned $26 million in 30 years. In his 34 starts at LIV, he made $17 million.
Yeah. So a good call for him, right?
Right.
Right. It's a
I mean,
good
it's
call.
like-
Right.
But how does he play on the
He made
senior
that.
tour?
He made that in the actual prize money. He made a lot more by going.
I don't know what they
The
paid him.
17 million for his tour. This is Phil, right?
No,
this
this is Pat Perez.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pat Perez,
That was
17 million in 34 events
Yeah.
on LIV, and he made 26 million in 30 years on the PGA Tour.
Do you remember when Pat Perez was the first guy popping bottles, posting on social media on
yeah.
the private planes?
planes,
And
yeah.
that rubbed the Saudis the wrong way. They're like, hey, bro.
And his wife, who's now the ex-wife, who's
Yep.
gone, she was the one who was like posting all this stuff on
Yes,
social media,
yes.
like basically swimming in cash. And, you know, why
And she
wouldn't we
gone
go?
now, too.
Oh,
She
she's-
got her
she's
payout.
way
She's
gone.
bounced.
Oh, yeah,
But how does he become eligible for the Champions Tour? Because it's based on eligibility through earnings or whatever of your PGA Tour.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't think they've made
Mr.
a
Ronas, we have a returning program for that. Would you like a pamphlet?
yes, I would. Thank you very much. I'll be turning 50 in March.
Okay, let's hear what other people are saying about this, starting with, how about Wyndham Clark, of all people? Wyndham Clark, who was a guy who was seriously wooed, and he said, I clicked the wrong link here, he said he's not thrilled about this. Here you go. Wyndham Clark says, quote, if you would have told me that I could have gone for a year and a half, make a boatload of money, then be able to come back and play on the PGA Tour, I think almost everyone would have done that. I personally really like Brooks, and I think it's ultimately really good for the PGA Tour, but also it's kind of frustrating that he's able to get the cake and also eat it, so I'm very torn.
Chambly talked about this for a long time, actually, on the Golf Channel the other night, and he said basically when you add up the earnings based on the increased amount of earnings that have developed since the LIV Tour, that he wouldn't have thought that this clown, what's his name again?
Wyndham
Clark could have surpassed that much by taking the live. Yet at the same time, he would have been ostracized from the whole golfing community. Certainly, he's not going to come back because of good graces because he's a complete asswipe. Yeah. So those are the things that Chambly talked about. So he said a Wyndham Clark is kind of a break even. But, you take a look at someone like Harold Varner, who left and will no longer be able to play on the PGA Tour. He'll never be eligible or whatever. In my opinion, still, for someone like Harold Varner, he just set up his family for generational money. Good for him.
Right.
And, worked hard and got to that point. So... But a Wyndham Clark would have thrown his whole career away by doing that. These guys don't look at that. They don't look at the long term.
Well, and
especially him.
Yeah, and it's good riddance. He should have gone in.
Right. I wish he would have.
Yeah. But a guy like Harold Varner could come back tomorrow and he'll have fans out there.
He would, but he doesn't. He won't be able to.
They won't. Yeah. Right.
You know what? Right. You know what? No Laying Up calls him Blow Pig. That's their nickname for Wyndham Clark, Blow Pig.
Yeah, that's great.
That's so funny.
That's great.
But that said, he's not necessarily wrong. He's just the wrong guy to be saying it. Because anyone who smashes up a iconic top 10 private country clubs lockers at the U.S. Open and doesn't even apologize for it properly should probably sit this one out.
Right, but again, the facts are wrong. Where he's talking about this lower tier guy, this 100 guy, 80 guy on the, Joel Dahman. Mm-hmm. He's talking about that guy who could have taken the money and then come back to the tour. First of all, the guy wouldn't have been offered the money.
Right.
And second, he wouldn't have had, because Chambly also said their games went down so badly, they just wouldn't have had world ranking points or majors or anything else. They would have never gotten back on the PGA Tour. So it doesn't apply to those people.
That makes sense.
Then there's this guy, Rory. Liv will need Bryson and billions, quote, just to maintain, adding they haven't signed anyone who moves the needle, and I don't think they will. That's some bold talk from old Rory. And I'm kind of impressed. He's not wrong. I just didn't think he'd be that flat out honest.
Well,
what?
I mean Rory swerves.
That's true.
He swerves quickly.
Yes.
I'm glad he said that.
Okay.
But we know that I hate Liv. Oh, all the guys should be playing on Liv. All the guys from Liv should be playing on the PGA Tour. Now, that's a fact. They're going to need billions and Bryson.
So with the recent addition of Byung-Hung An, who is now captain of the Korean Golf Club, formerly your Ironheads. I've got their original hat. That's a collector's item. If you want it, make me an offer and I'll sell it.
10 grand.
They have signed Laurie Cantor, Victor Perez, Elvis Smiley, no relation to Smiley Kaufman, and Thomas Detry. Woof.
Where's the old Zabe soundbite? Hey, how about that?
Hey, how about that? The Homer. Hey, how about that? I need to get that. That is a pretty weak haul right there. And the funniest thing is they keep saying, well, we got another big signing. It's just around the corner. This could happen. They get all the live bots on social media that are like hyping up the tour. And it's amazing to watch. It's fascinating.
And they almost got Siwoo Kim. That was their big name that they almost got, right?
That was the almost big
So,
get, yes.
we're reaching there. We're not grabbing those big names. So
then there's Brandel Chambly, who has been very outspoken and pointed about the utter wrongness of the Live Tour and the not worthy of civil society people behind it, the Saudis and more. And here's what he tweeted. I had the chance to talk with the PGA Tour, and I think the pecuniary penalty, that's just Brandel showing off. He's got a dictionary. Congratulations. They imposed upon Brooks Koepka's return, though substantial and unprecedented in the history of sports, I agree, was nonetheless appropriate. I hope it opens the door to a further exodus from Live Golf, which is a tour that is just an arm of the Saudi state. I had to check this tweet 5 times because, there's a lot of bots out there, a lot of people that impersonate accounts, and you never quite know. And after checking it out, the one thing Brandel has set his stupid Twitter account to is you can't get a link to his tweet, so I had to screenshot it.
Oh, my.
Why do you do that, bro? He blocks everybody as well.
Wow.
So do you think Brandel is staying morally consistent at this point?
No.
Oh, you don't?
First of all, Brandel is a huge Trump guy. And Trump is a huge Saudi guy and a huge live guy.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And so you can't have both.
Right.
You can't. Not when your livelihood is golf and it's all golf like Brandel Chambly. You can't just say, hey, my politics are over here, because your politics are golf.
They're intertwined with it. They're inexorable.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. And that's why, when I was texting with you guys earlier in the week, I don't think Bryson will ever go, because he's a very tight Trump guy. Rahm surprised me. Rahm surprised me very much. Kim Smith, no surprise at all.
Rahm said, no, I'm not jumping back.
Rahm danced. Bryson answered first and said he was under contract through 2026.
I need to hear the Rahm one. I've got the Bryson one queued up here. They were on that same stage.
The two of them were on bar stools there. And Bryson answered first and just said a very basic, generic, I'm under contract through 2026. They asked Rahm, and he, stuttered for a little bit and then just said, I agree with what Bryson said.
It'd be interesting, and I'll have to ask Terry Riley about this. It would be interesting about how these people were paid.
Oh, the contracts reportedly are very complicated. And very secretive.
But when did it get paid?
That's also
did it get paid up front? Maybe Rahm got paid up front and DeChambeau didn't, or whatever, Koepka didn't. It's a little easier for me to say, I'm going to give up that year in my contract if I haven't gotten paid. But if I've gotten paid already and then I have to write a check to give it back,
right?
It's always a little bit more difficult.
I mean, that's why everybody's saying, that Bryson's got live by the balls now, that he can basically go at them and say, I want $1 billion to stay because you have nothing else.
Yeah.
Especially if Rahm leaves. Who cares about Cam Smith in Australia when they have events? That's great. But otherwise, who's the attractive on that tour anymore?
Yeah.
And Bryson's got it. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just Bryson.
That's a great point, though, about Ronas, not just how much did you get paid, but when did you get paid? And I would add, in what did you get paid? Is it in dollars? Is it in real, which is the Saudi currency? Is it in Bitcoin? Is it in Dogecoin? I'd love to know that stuff. So anyway, that then spins us to our friend Kevin Van Valkenburg, and his big takeaway is that this is Brian Rolap's first big move. He writes for Friday Golf, even if Monahan had wanted to consider bringing Koepka back to the tour, there would have been policy board meetings and subcommittee discussions with Zoom calls and Patrick Cantlay and Tiger Woods. It would have dragged on for months. It would have been like trying to drag a bill through the House of Representatives with Monahan needing to ensure every constituency that they would be taken care of along the way. Rolap blew through all of that in a weekend. According to reporting from Joel Beal of Golf Digest, he accomplished in 5 days what Monahan could not in 5 years. He put Liv on the defensive. Ronas, you get the first crack because you are actually friends with Mr. Monahan to a certain degree from back in the day. Yeah,
I think the difference is really and honestly the power that's been given to Rolap when he came in, which was necessary, and the pulpit that he came in from. He came in from the NFL. Jay came in from, the PGA Tour, basically. Mm-hmm. And I think they basically said, Rolap, we're going to give you more power. We're going to trust your decision-making. We know what you did with the NFL. Go get it. And I don't think they gave that ever to Jay. And then when this all went down, they again didn't allow him to do. I'm not saying that Rolap hasn't done a great job or Jay didn't do a good job. I'm just saying I think they said, this guy's a stud. He's coming from the NFL, the biggest and the best. Let's give him the power and see what he's got. And I think, yes, you're right, Say this is his first. His balls dragging on the floor as he made this deal.
Right. And had this been the attitude the first time around, like you said, maybe it was constrained and they didn't allow him to do that. This is what they needed first go around. This is where they
did, but I think the time, buddy, wasn't ripe yet. I don't think the apple was ripe to be picked until right about now. They needed to live to struggle and to hemorrhage and to fail in getting any new stars, any good players, to the point where you're like, they're vulnerable now, go get them.
But the attitude of, let's be definitive and let's be fast in what we're doing.
I think they were, though, but it wasn't totally trusted. And if you really look at it, I think Jay Monahan should be commended for pushing this as far as he pushed it so that we could get to this point. He never gave in. No matter what, really, we might have thought that he was giving in, but he never did take their money.
Here's the thing: he was all over the road. He was careening from one side to the other, and he got a lot of shit for it. But the car didn't crash, did it?
No.
And we've
Monahan's wild ride,
and it was
got them to this point.
And that car was going 200 miles an hour.
It was.
And he never crashed it.
Yeah, and there was garbage cans flying out on the road.
I got
and deer
it. Yeah.
and squirrel.
Right. There's a lot of dead carcasses, but the car never crashed.
And it felt like this thing's coming together. Absolutely. Nope, there's no chance of this thing coming together. Now we're at the stage where there's zero chances coming together.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I kept on
that.
saying. I said the PGA Tour has them by the balls, and Jay wouldn't let him up. So he kept on saying, yeah, we're working on some stuff. They weren't working on anything. He knew they had him by the balls, and then he just was waiting for his contracts to give in.
So that brings us to DeChambeau. Here he was at the season opening presser with their star players up on the podium with their wonderful team uniforms on and logos. I like the Crushers logo, by the way. Sue me if you think I'm an idiot.
I
but
agree.
I like it. It's one of the more solid logos they've got. But here was his answer to the question of, so, what's going on there, Bryson?
Obviously, some significant news in the golf world yesterday. Before we open it up to the room and the media gathered here, Bryson, I'm just curious if you want to share your thoughts on some of the recent developments.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm contracted through 2026, so excited about this year.
It's unbelievable.
That's
What a promo.
And they posted it.
well, that's the other part I was going to get to, which is pretty funny, is that their social media team is so dumb. Here it is right here. This is Jadon Takes. I love this Twitter account, at Sculled Wedge. Bryson, I'm contractually obligated for the season. Live. That's an amazing quote. We got to post it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Bryson didn't have any better diplomatic response than that? Or was that intentional, do you think?
They could have at least put some EDM music behind it.
Something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
On the social post.
You knew it was coming. You knew the question was coming. So
It wasn't even asked by the media. It was asked by their PR guy.
Right,
By
exactly.
the Live
So-
PR guy.
yeah.
Okay.
And you knew it was going to be the first question
Yeah, of
going.
course.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, he's got.
I mean-
he's got to be. If he doesn't know, he's a smart dude, very smart guy.
Yeah.
like he knows anyways, and I'm sure his manager prepped him for it too.
that's what they came up with.
Like,
I don't.
yeah,
He's also leaning into it, you see from his Instagram post, standing in front of an exit sign in a doorway of some building saying, what would you do, with a little shrug.
Yeah, so I
expression.
mean that sort of goes back to what Rona said about maybe the money hasn't been paid out yet,
Right.
in his contract, in Rahm's contract, and I would assume that just like when we watch Full Swing on Netflix and you see these guys huddled up, and whether it's in the locker room or clubhouses having meals or playing practice rounds where they're having conversations, I'm sure the same thing's going on in Live where guys like Rahm and DeChambeau and Koepka, whether they like each other that much or not, I'm sure are having discussions on, hey man, what do you think of this league? Is this good or bad? Or you miss, do you miss the Wells Fargo Classic and like you miss the tour? Like do you feel like this is weird? And like, the way that he reacted by putting that poll out and then the way that he gave his answer on the dais there makes me think like, he's not so thrilled about being there either.
Right.
But maybe he's locked into it.
I think Rahm would be closer to Koepka in the embarrassment side of it.
Totally.
And really care about the embarrassment side of it. I don't think DeChambeau sees that side because he just doesn't see
Well, he
himself.
does his own thing. Yeah,
Right.
he's doing his. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think he sees that.
Yeah, I mean, I think to some extent he does. I mean, I think he understands the history of the game. I think that his brain just works so much differently that it's maybe not like as zeroed in. But I think where he stands in history means something to him. And we all were surprised when Rahm took the money and went there because we definitely thought he was he cared about
Savvy
that.
and all the history of the game.
We still don't even know. Like Rahm didn't understand he wasn't a member of the PGA Tour.
Rahm didn't even know what he was getting into.
Right. So
It was unbelievable.
he may have been sitting on that stage going, "Wait a minute, I can get out of this."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm still a Rahm guy. I feel bad. I feel like he just made a big mistake.
I do too.
I think
doubt.
He got
I'm
talked
with you.
into some
No
shit.
doubt.
But he'll be back eventually. So that said, with all this going on, it's funny that the delusion is still strong with the old Live Tour. This tweet from Live Golf Executive, or this tweet from Nuclear Golf. Live Golf executives say there's been an interest in minority stakes in some teams. The league is seeking to have 13 franchises worth $1 billion each.
Yeah.
How much do you think Live Golf franchises are worth? This is worth diving into the comments section on it because people are just going off, Miss Dr. Evil, $1 billion. Worth nothing. How about zero? I'll give you a Kit Kat. I mean, just one thing after another. Where do they come up with this nonsense?
Well, like who's putting up the money? Because if it's other Saudi or Qatar, companies, from those countries, like that's possible.
Well,
It's
you're right.
possible. They've got so much cash.
So what do you own?
The group
then?
that I've
What
been
is
putting
the business
together
you own?
has that question. The group that I've been putting together has that question. What do you own, actually? Just the hats or the logo? We're comfortable with $750 million right now, but we're not going to go to $1 billion.
Well, I think
get up to $1 billion.
It's again like what are you buying, right? And where's it go? Where's the 5-year? When do you break even? It's like this is a joke beyond a joke.
And when you sit down and decide how much is this worth, first thing you're going to do is look at an NFL franchise and say, okay, let's base it on that. It's about 1/5 of that. Let's
and as
do
Bryson
that. Okay.
said last year, none of them really have made a profit. The teams,
How could they?
based on their travel schedule and all the other stuff.
I saw some responses saying, don't be so dumb. You're buying a set of golfers who can earn X million dollars in prize money every year. That's your business.
So it's horse racing?
Well, no, but I said, in my mind, I'm like, that's taking money from your left pocket and putting it in your right pocket.
Right.
You can't count them as generating new original revenue from the league in which you're buying the rights to the franchise.
Yeah.
It's a very circular kind of thing. Plus, if you're counting on the merchandising, poor Stinger GC has got to be sitting on a ton of unsold hats, shirts, quarter zips, bags, koozies, head covers, because they're now the Southern Guard, and they're green with a rhino. Here's the logo right there. Southern Guard.
Who was the Stinger
This
GC?
is the South African team.
Okay.
Stingers.
I don't know what Southern Guards are. Maybe it's a thing in South Africa. You guard against rhinoceros?
No, you probably guard against them killing rhinoceroses
Oh,
for
okay.
their
Well, I'll have to
valuable
research
horns
that.
that are used in witchcraft and a number of other things. The rhino horn is very, very
Ronus, that sounds
therapeutic.
Ronus, that sounds like a legit answer.
I
like
know.
a
That's
literally
what I tried
legit
this my
answer.
whole life, Zabe.
The problem is, though, Zabe, the problem is at the $1 billion franchise value, you got to buy a hat for $100,000. So
You get a free rhino.
Also, the Ironheads are no longer, and they are now the Korean Golf Club.
Okay.
And while their one alternate logo has the iconic tiger, which is part of Korean culture and lore, as part of it, the main logo does not.
Is that a flower of some
I don't know
not
what
a
it
generic
is.
flower? It must mean something.
I don't know what it is, but it's like if you're going to do the Korean Golf Club, get a better name and include a tiger in it. They got it over here in this thing right there.
Or a panda or something.
And of course, Kevin Na, who is good friends with your owner here at Worldwide.
yeah, he's a friend. Danny Lee is who
Oh, right.
he's
okay.
good friends with.
Danny
so.
Lee and your owner of Worldwide Golf
Yes.
are close, so he knows Kevin Na.
Yep.
I got nothing against Mr. Quickwalk. I think that little thing he was doing back when he was relevant was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Quick step on that. I do think his waggles became problematic at times. Slow play, obviously. But Kevin Na is out. So
shame.
no longer for good old Kevin Na. You want one last little sizzle reel of Kevin Na?
Posture looks like me.
And you see, you can wear shorts and a hoodie on this tour.
Oh, that's a real tournament?
Yes. Look at the Live Golf.
14th hole.
I thought it was just practicing.
Oh, that could be glorious.
That's glorious.
Wow. Oh, wow, what a shot.
Wow, what
On
a
the
shot.
green on a par 3.
By the way, I
Man,
love that you think this is practice.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I don't think-
Well, there's nobody out there.
Yeah, look at the crowds.
Yeah.
Back.
I mean,
Hold on, do they play practice rounds in the Live?
yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay. At
I
least
mean,
there's
this
that.
is
Well, maybe it is, but this outfit would be permitted. It's fully fine for the
I
Live
know.
Tour.
That's tough.
And someday, some people on the PGA Tour are going to go, okay, let's just let them do that.
No, they're not.
They already let hoodies on. Generally.
Well, hoodies are fine.
Not to derail this here, and
Yes.
my lack of preparation and ignorance is not to be excused
okay.
on this. But does anybody have any idea, like in Korea or any of the other international countries, how Live does?
Better.
Like if it's
better.
you know,
The
because I have
tournament-
no idea.
Australia certainly does
I know
very
that
well.
Australia, they
Australia
talk to-
loves it. I mean, look, that part of the globe loves it. They're finally getting named golfers that are world class to play where they are, and that's good.
Yeah.
But you can't build a whole tour around it. You can't bleed $5 billion a year on it.
No.
But whatever. Okay, let me get to the good story about Liv, and it's not Mito Pereira who's quit golf. This is Anthony Kim has made it back. He has qualified once again for the Liv Tour.
It's a story of redemption, of self-discipline, granite-like determination. It's a
Arlo
tale
White
of
from the
overcoming
call.
addiction, regaining health and vitality, and the power of family and fatherhood. Well played, AK. We'll see you in Riyadh next month.
Yeah.
There you go.
Beating
Arlo.
out 30 other great amateur golfers.
Okay.
I still think that this is impressive. That he
I do
his,
too,
his
buddy.
own demons and held on when it didn't look like that guy could break 90 for a while. Now, again, I understand the level that he's doing, but it just his own internal thing. I find it impressive. I don't think it's redeeming and all those wonderful things that the announcer was trying to state there. But just the fact that he played well enough in that competition to get back is
I do too,
impressive.
because he was off the Live for a year. I didn't even know that. So yes, he was. I think they kicked him off.
They just kicked him
Oh,
off.
they just kicked him
this
off.
Yeah.
season,
Okay.
yeah.
So he earned
All
it back in.
All right, but he was kind of DFLing it every week.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he figured out a way to beat some other guys. I want you to listen to him talk, and then we'll talk about this here real quick.
Good question. No, I wasn't planning on doing anything but getting back on Live. I felt like I'd put in the time. I haven't seen any breaks go my way. I haven't seen the results, but I felt like, God has a bigger plan. I found faith in rehab and in my sobriety, and not that God gives a shit if I make Live or if I don't, but I felt like I'm doing all the right things, and I would have a great opportunity to make it back, and that's what I was planning on.
Good for him. But let's look at his face because of all the drugs that he did. And obviously the facial reconstruction, his septum pretty much collapsed from cocaine use. This is a face of a man that you wouldn't say he's the same Anthony Kim who was a star on this tour at the Ryder Cup down at Valhalla. Totally different guy. I saw a cut-up reel of Anthony Kim in full flight, a much younger guy, and I was like, oh, man, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
But no one is.
So I know. So I'm just saying, and again, he accepts responsibility that he allowed this to happen to himself, but he's dug his way out. I mean, look at that.
I look at it differently a little bit from you, buddy, in just one word. I don't look at it as impressive, but I do look at it as redemption and commitment and possibly turning your life around, because this is the only way in his world, he knows to do this stuff. This is his turnaround in his world. This is how he does it. Someone else might be a better something or a better this. For Anthony Kim, it's golf that kind of designates where he is. So I don't see it as impressive.
I
I
am modestly impressed, and I am very happy.
I'm very happy for
Modestly impressed. I know it's a low-level entry thing, but he qualified. Did he win or he finished second?
Yeah, I'm
He
just not
finished
impressed.
third, and three make it. So if he drops down one, he's out. It's not like he's. But yeah, and again, it looked like that guy was not going to break 90. He was going to come DFL. He started playing okay, I think, in some events. He didn't come last in all of
Shot
in that
500.
thing in the qualifier. So
CJ, last word on that.
I'm still trying to recover from the highlight. I'm so misty-eyed. I mean, the wheels are spinning so fast in my head.
Okay.
The screenplay. I'm thinking that I could sell the rights to it for millions and millions on
fair
there.
enough.
How many
I think
people watch
That's
this
very,
movie?
very succinctly said. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to take this intermission right here to remind people that Worldwide Golf and Golfdom is your place for all of your golfing needs. Winter is a great time to come in, see what new stuff is out on the floor, get fitted for new clubs as well. I just spent some time, buddy, with Monty over in the apparel department. We were talking brands and stuff that's hot and on the come and on the rise and stuff that's out there. I actually went to say, I'm going to go buy those Echo Boa shoes that I liked so much last year. And I go to your rack and I was like, where are they? And he goes, new year, new styles.
yeah,
So I kind of missed out on the styles. So don't miss out on the new styles that are coming out in all this stuff and all the equipment and everything else. PGA Golf Show is coming up next week.
Yeah.
in Florida. So all the manufacturers, all the gizmo people are going to roll stuff out, and Golfdom's going to have all the good stuff for you here, and a very small amount of pickleball shit. It's hard to find, even, which I'm glad it's hard
Do we
to
have
find.
some out here still?
It's sold out.
I think it's in that corner over there. When I see it, I mutter under my breath, and I just say, okay,
We can't even sell it at
It's right next to the new Quantum drivers.
We can't even sell it at sporting goods store.
Come down to Golfdom. Come to Golfdom, Tyson's Corner, or Annapolis, or Rockville, or go to golfdomgolf.com online. Let's talk about what happened at Kapalua for a second, which should have been last week. We should have been able to sit there and watch, if you have more than one TV in your home theater, football on the main screen, Kapalua on the other screen. Didn't get it. It may never happen again. I'm more pessimistic than ever after listening to this interview. It's actually a long podcast from the No Laying Up boys. Did a deep dive into this, and we're able to get Mark Rolfing, Mr. Hawaii, to talk about this. When I heard about all the stuff that Rolfing has done in terms of helping develop Kapalua in the first place and brokered deals, like, he's not just a nice guy that lives in Hawaii and knows the Huna Huna Pula.
He's been there a long time.
He's big shit.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what he said, though, about what happened to Kapalua aside from the water issues.
Yeah. There's another aspect to this, another element to this that you kind of just alluded to, which is not only is all of these water issues going on at Kapalua, the PGA Tour is also in a massive state of flux. As Brian Rolap comes in, we hear scarcity. We hear for-profit entities. It's very expensive to have a tournament on Maui. It's a logistical challenge, I would say. I don't think it's the easiest place to go for the PGA Tour, but you uncovered another clip here that we'll play that kind of shows that there's a little bit more to it going on behind the scenes as well.
The interesting part about it is that in 2024, the Century purse went from just under $9 million to $15 million. So it went up big time.
Did you have a part in negotiating that?
Oh, yeah. But, okay, that was $15 million. So they kind of went along with it, and everybody said, okay, let's come up with a long-term agreement. And before you know it, Century had a deal through 2035 with a purse of $15 million.
It's a strong commitment.
That's a strong one. The problem is, a few months later, they raised the purse to $20 million. What? Why did they do that? They didn't need to do that. It was a small field anyway. It was 36-man field or 38, something like that. Anyway, they did it, and none of the people work there anymore that were involved in that. But the purse went to $20 million, so now they got stuck with the purse being $15 million from the title sponsor, but yet they're paying out $20 million. It's the first time I've ever heard, that I can recall, of a title sponsor not covering the purse of a tournament.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Wait, so is it the tour that's covering the $5 million difference?
Correct.
Okay.
Huh. Over 10 years. Not $5 million over 10. Yeah, $50 million.
How about that, Mr. Fung? That's craziness.
Yeah.
For no reason. And, Rolfing's like, yeah, the people at the tour said to do that. They don't even work there anymore. They just threw out $50 million in commitment that wasn't needed, nobody asked for, and has no funding.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the live right there.
Was that in response to Live that they were doing that?
Later in the podcast, and if you want to listen to the whole thing, as DJ Pye there talking, you can listen to the whole thing. Apparently, the reasoning was they wanted to bring it in line with the other signature events. Yep. But there is nothing forcing them to do that. I don't think they were at risk of losing one of the handful of, because it was 36-person field?
Yeah.
You have to win a tournament to be in that thing.
Yep.
So it's shooting money in a barrel, shooting fish in a barrel out there. It's Kapalua. They probably take care of their wives and girlfriends and families and kids the greatest week of their year. Mm-hmm. You don't need to bump it up another $5 million. And who had the money for it?
Probably just the overreaction, though.
And the guys who weren't playing in it,
yeah,
because it used to be all of them played in it back when we grew up.
Yeah.
And now the big guys just didn't even play it. They'd skip it, but they aren't going to play it for the extra $5 million.
Right, CJ.
I mean, I probably shouldn't question Rolfing.
That's okay.
Because he's Mr. Hawaii, and God knows nobody tells you where he lives more than Mark Rolfing tells you that he lives in Hawaii about 50 times over the weekend during the century. But I find that hard to believe that they just raised the prize money without talking to Century about it, because they did it at a bunch of other tournaments to make them elevated events. So if that is true, where every sponsor covers the prize money across the board for every tournament, then when they raise the prize money at the other 6 elevated events that they have, the title sponsor would have had to cover that as well.
So you think that this was done elsewhere? That the tour was papering over? The tour was finding money that they had to go, we're going to raise these purses.
I mean, something doesn't match here, because if that's true there, that the sponsor covers all of the prize money for all of these events, then every year it's gone up.
I know it has.
Regardless of elevated events or not, everything goes up.
I assume they were going to their better sponsors with the deeper pockets and saying, sorry, but the price is going up, and then negotiating a way to get that number up.
Yeah,
but maybe they weren't.
Yeah, and the reason they were able to do that was because they were elevated events. They were going to guarantee that the top players were playing it.
In theory, yes. Unless, as CJ's theory is, that the tour didn't do that with all their existing clients, and they just added their own money.
But like you said, you didn't have to make that event the elevated event.
No.
A elevated event.
Especially a 35 person.
A 35 person field where you're, probably paying for them to stay in the Ritz-Carlton there.
126 fans total for the week.
All that sort of stuff. What I do get is that what the first guy said, not Rolfing, about the cost there for the tour to go there. I mean, think about what it costs for Golf Channel, NBC to go out there. To bring everybody over there, put them all up at hotels, the trucks, all that stuff. So that's got to be their most expensive tournament of the year, and probably one of their most expensive events. Football game, whatever it is of the year.
Well, when they were first talking, I thought we moved it from 9, I think, to 15. Right? I think it was the number he said.
Century agreed to pay 15.
Right. So I thought they were going to say, now they came back to him and said, now you got to pay 20, and it was the next regime that came in and said. That's how I took it at first. That Century said, "Well, we're not going to pay the extra $5."
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Century said we won't pay it, or if they didn't even ask Century.
Yeah.
My sense is that Rolfing is claiming that the tour just added $5 million on there,
and said, "Here's $5."
And they're like, "We've got a pile of money. We'll figure it out." But that's $50 million over 10 years.
Yeah.
I know this. I wouldn't feel comfortable going to a great sponsor like Century, who's got a big commitment till 2035 at $15 million per, and asking for one more dime back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
And in this environment, it seems like a long commitment to stay at the same prize money.
Anyway, and that doesn't even get into the whole water issues. So apparently they've got a 120-year-old system of ditches in Maui that navigates rainwater from the mountains down to what once were pineapple fields and other agriculture. And there's a lot of rules about who gets the water first and for what uses. People need it to live and for their homes and everything else. And the golf course is looked at like, you're last in line. And the owners of the golf course, I believe one of the owners is the guy who owns Uniqlo. He's a big golfer himself. And, they did something to take groundwater out, which they were not supposed to do, and that caused a big uproar. The ditch system is in disrepair. My net was, well, just take $5 million and spend it on better ditches, fix them up, put some concrete in there, get some more water flow. Maybe that's what you ought to do.
It's all political.
But it's very political as well. Okay, moving on. TGL. I watched, buddy. Watched. You too, Ronas. Big fans. CJ, you a TGL guy?
I mean, I saw some clips of this one.
So can I give you some shocking news here? I've not seen a shot this year.
Because you're working.
I've been busy.
Working and traveling.
But
catch it up on DVR. I mean, come on.
I know. And I just haven't made the time yet. So.
Well, you're the reason for this then. Josh Carpenter reports viewership for TGL's Match 4 on Tuesday between Jupiter and New York only drew 793,000 viewers, which was down from last year's Week 4, same time slot of 864,000. Also, Tiger Woods was part of this. He was part of the show. He didn't play, but he was part of the show. So that's not great. But let's not get hung up on that. Let's, more importantly, ask, did you see the Will Ferrell introductions?
I saw that.
Okay, that's good. CJ, or, Buddy and Ronas, have you seen these?
No, I haven't seen.
Okay.
I heard he made it good.
The Jupiter Lynx. Leading off for the Jupiter Lynx, a 23-year-old man who putts with an old man's broomstick, Akshay Bhatia. In the middle, a 6-time PGA Tour winner who used to be good at golf, Max Homa. And anchoring Jupiter is a player who should really quit and just get back in the broadcast booth. Hey, you might want to duck when it's time for him to chip, everyone. Kevin Kistner. And now it's time to meet the New York Golf Club. Yeah, New York. Leading off for New York, the former frontman of the Golf Boys, Ricky Fowler. In the middle, the most data-driven player in the entire PGA Tour, and yet, interesting fun fact, he never graduated college. Not by a mile. Matt Fitzpatrick. And the Anchorman. Great movie, by the way. Isn't that a great movie? Right? Great movie. The most talkative player in the TGL. He's a real chatty Cathy. The guy needs to shut up. Someone should buy him a muzzle. Cameron Young.
So this is part of the production thing.
Yes.
Those guys should be hearing what's going on because I'm sure that
needs to be a live roast.
Yeah, 'cause they're not laughing.
Obviously, he recorded in a studio.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like the reverb effect you would want and the in-presence thing. You got to pay Will Ferrell big money to get him there live in person, right?
But you still don't have
to. He was?
Yeah, he was there.
Well, then why did they put him out there with a mic in front of the crowd?
I don't know why they did it. I mean,
and the music was too loud in the background. People.
But it still should have been out to the whole audience, and
Yeah.
those guys should have heard it and be laughing, or at
Right.
least in their earphones.
Right. Now I got to show you this. So this whole stinger has been the hit so far of TGL, this fictional golf hole with this rock outcropping, probably somewhere in Utah or whatever, where you got to hit this low shot that only has, 76 feet of clearance to get under. Most guys have been hitting irons or maybe a hybrid. Fitzpatrick, who did not graduate from college, not even close, hit driver. Have you seen this driver from him?
No, but
Take it.
yes, I did.
Wait till you see this thing. This is unreal.
Stay left. Oh, that was a beaut. All right, Matt Fitzpatrick. Too much. Squeaked it too much. All right, Matt.
That is a piss missile. Launch angle 0 degrees, which technically can't be right, buddy? We're here. If somebody gets a 0 degree, it's a ground.
I've hit many a 0 degree drive.
It had to be like half a degree or one. Apex of 37 feet.
In theory, Zabe, the launch angle could
261.
be. The launch angle could be 0 because it's on a tee.
Yeah, it could be.
And then the
negative.
spin rate provided would keep it somewhat airborne.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was an English major.
Look at that.
But I can't believe the announcers didn't go nuts right when that came off the face. They kind of like watched it like, all right, is this going to miss the fairway to the right? That was unbelievable off the face.
This is voodoo right here. Now, this is assuming that the TrackMan is accurate with the tracing, but for the first 100 yards of its flight, it's 10. It'll knock your hat off. It's 10 feet off the deck, if that, before it starts to spin.
0 degree launch, it won't even.
It starts to spin upwards. I wish they would do a more visible trail.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's not as visible. If you look real close, you can see it. It does sort of rise as I'm sure that spin is going on.
But Zabe, in all honesty, a 0 degree launch is going to, at 40, 50, 60, 80 feet, is going to take out below your kneecap.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, on to some gear and fashion news to wrap up here.
Real quick, Zabe,
Yes.
are they playing that hole in all the matches?
So far, they have.
So has anybody not gotten it under there?
Oh, yeah.
Almost everyone.
And it bounces back at them?
Straight down.
Straight down. It's bounced back into the water.
Yeah. Almost everyone's missed it.
Okay.
The only other thing I'd say, just because he's my Easton boy, Chris Gotterup. Did you see that shot he had?
Gotterup hit him
with a 1 iron.
The little,
Yeah.
Well, no, but the chip that he had off the bat and he chipped it over the bunker and just stuck grab in the hole.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
He was
Gotterup
choked on
is-
the shaft.
Yeah.
Goddard's from Easton, Maryland?
He's
He was
Terry's
born
boy.
in Easton, Maryland, and then his family moved to New Jersey, and he went to Rutgers.
Yep.
But he's originally Easton,
that.
Maryland.
He sponsors. He is his
Yeah.
agent is a friend of the show, Mr. Terry Riley.
Terry Rileyism?
Yep.
Nice. These are the kind of new stars we need, interesting guys.
Yeah.
He's got a good personality. Okay. This is what I'm calling a fascinating Masters mystery finally solved, which may only matter to me. I show you right here a photograph of the great late Severiano Ballesteros. May he rest in peace, taken from us far too soon by a brain tumor. This was him at the Masters in Nike gear. He was a Nike guy briefly. This is right when Nike was first getting into
I didn't know he was
golf.
Nike.
Well, he was Nike for a hot minute.
Wow.
For years, buddy. I have seen this photo of him with this odd visor, which has the double-stacked rectangular Nike logo.
Yeah.
I have never in my life ever seen it in the wild for sale or worn by anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The mystery has apparently been solved by his son,
Yes.
Javier. Here's what he tweets. 86 Masters, dad had a contract with Nike, but they didn't make golf headwear at the time. For the first 2 days, he wore a visor with the Augusta National logo on it, but on Saturday and Sunday, he cut the tags off of 2 polo shirts and attached them to the visor so he could play Nike logoed visor.
That was always the rumor.
Wow.
And that's confirming it, but I had never heard it confirmed.
Isn't that
until his
wild?
son- yes, no.
And he needed
dumbest-
2 of them to cover the whole Augusta logo.
That's why it was
Yes.
such a weird double-stacked logo.
Yep.
And that's and this was 86 with Nicholas, so hits it in the water on,
Right.
on
It's
15
in
with
contention.
that double. Oh, in contention, he was leading.
I mean,
Wow.
it's a
I'm surprised
great-
Nike didn't sell it.
It's a
Yes.
great backstory, but did he sign like that Tuesday of Masters Week? Like, how could they not produce a visor? You're Nike.
You ask a great question, but I had another person in the golf industry years ago, I'll have to get the photos to show it, who said, hey, look at these photos from the Masters annual yearbook. They actually produce a printed yearbook with photos and stuff. It's very lovely. I don't know if you can buy it or not.
We used to sell it. It's like a hard magazine, basically, right?
It's a hardcover book, basically, with beautiful glossy photos.
Okay, they
and a
do one
recap
that
of
was
the tournament.
soft cover.
Maybe
but-
this was a magazine.
Yeah.
So I forget if this is the 83, 84 or something like it. Might have been the 84 tournament. And he's flipping through going, take a look at his bag there. Take a look at his bag. And everywhere, every shot, the bag had black electrical tape over something on the bag.
Wow.
And I'm like, what's that? He's like, he was in a sponsorship dispute, and I forget if it was with a club maker or whomever. And through the first 2 rounds, basically, his caddy was like, my guy's winning. He's on this week. Price of business going up. And the sponsor's like, wait, we had a deal here, you know? We paid for this. And they're like, no, the price is going up. That the sponsor said that logo has to be on that bag or you are in violation of our contract. So the way they got around it was like, oh, the logo's on there, but now there's black tape over it.
Wow.
Because that's how, Sevy was.
Yeah.
Fiery and combative and like, no.
Yeah.
You pay me more.
And you think of the logo, CJ, how easy we have it these days. Like you bring in a picture and it's on your hat.
Yeah.
86. It was probably a act of God.
Yeah.
To do that.
Well, and they also a lot of them
sewed it
didn't
on
wear
by hand.
A lot of them didn't wear hats back then.
Yeah, I'm going to find those images from the tournament. It doesn't come up on Google right now, but okay, fine. Other things. How about this? Things I never knew existed. If your club is not ordering one of these right now, you're missing out. This is like a shag bag device for chipping greens. Take a look at this. It's got the big wide tubes to come scoop
That
up the
is
balls.
money.
I need.
It's got a
what's the
little
company?
hopper right there, and it just right into the bucket. It cleans.
I'm going to tell you that's ingenious right there. But the fact is that like I had to make my own out of PVC, just the pusher thing.
Yeah, that's what we had.
because the majority of these, for whatever reason, don't work. So if this works, that's great.
It's working. It's a video of it.
What do you mean it doesn't work? Like those things, they get twisted and they're kind of.
We had one where the thing just picked up the balls and put them in the picker and all. It just didn't work. It would just push the balls or would grind them into the green or whatever.
Okay, the
but that's
PVC
great.
What
If
that
that
you
works.
Oh, that
designed does
PVC
work.
worked.
Yeah.
If
But that
works,
thing
I'm gonna
picks it
buy
up. That thing's
a bunch.
fantastic.
Like,
You sell needlepoint belts here, buddy?
Yeah.
Golf clubs, private clubs also sell needlepoint belts. They're not my thing. They are some guys' absolute passion.
Yep.
They're getting about out of control. Look at this guy here on
Pricey.
Twitter. Pricey as hell, too.
Pricey.
How much is like a nice needlepoint?
It could be $200.
It's $200
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
So here he is showing off
175.
all the
Same with mine.
different swanky private clubs and
Yeah.
the needlepoint logoed belts.
And like instead of a ball rack, he has
yeah.
like a rack to hang belts.
My
This guy obviously went to UVA.
yeah, my waistline doesn't work for that because
You're not going to see half the belt?
well, it's just you're not going to see the belt, and then it goes up and it goes down. So, a lot of the year I'm not going to be able to wear it. This time of the year, right now, I'm at the, I'm wintertime.
We need a big sturdy belt, right?
Exactly.
CJ, that just we know is going to
That's
keep.
what
It's not
I'm-
going to roll up into it like
Yeah.
like floss around
Yeah.
our waist. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And if you think the logo chase for high-end clubs has gone too far, I'm sorry to tell you, it's gone so far you have no idea how far it has gone. This is now apparently a thing. Logoed Zinn canisters.
Oh, jeez.
Some guys love the Zinn. This is Rick Golf's calling it now the Hot Pro Shop item of 2026 is going to be this. It's a custom logo Zinn can. And so it's just, you don't need an extra can for Zinn. It comes in a can. Am I wrong?
Well, look
Although
at-
maybe I
You
guess
didn't know that.
you probably empty the Zinn packets into
in there.
that.
Just
I know,
like
but you
your
don't
diet,
have to.
just like your Diet Coke, that came in a can.
That's right. Why do I do that? But it's water, though. That's the thing.
I made this decision actually when I was on a high school visit when I was 13 years old that I never wanted to. It was a high school visit to Georgetown Prep. And at that point, when I was 13 years old, I made a decision that I never wanted to hang out with anybody like that in my life. And I've held true to that.
So if you and I are playing this summer and we encounter a guy with a logoed Zinn can, are you prepared to walk off the golf course on the spot?
Well, I mean, if we're in the foursome, I'll just walk ahead. That's fine. I'm not saying I can't play with him. I'm just saying
Well, we're not
you
gonna
don't want to be
talk to
around him.
I don't need to.
You will shun him.
I don't need to say, hey,
The shunning will begin immediately as soon as you see
let's
that.
exchange numbers and talk about playing, going on a trip.
I go play a lot
together.
of public courses in Florida, and well, I never see stitch belts at the courses I play.
I can hear it now. Bro, check it out, man.
Oh.
Zinn can from Southern
Jeez.
Hills.
Got it on my member guest.
Yeah.
Such a great
Buddy right now is
gift.
like, I got to order a bunch of these.
I know, we got to stock that up.
All right, lastly, did you guys see Lee Trevino at the father-son event that closed the year down there in West Palm? Was it West? No, not West Palm. It was Naples, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's
And talking about, what the game of golf means to him.
Yeah.
You saw this, CJ, buddy?
I saw a reference to it, but I don't remember seeing it.
This is as good as it gets, and this is why I am Lee Trevino stan extraordinaire. Love the Merrimack so much. Here's what he said about why he loves the game of golf.
You're looking at a guy that got in a lot of trouble as a teenager and ended up in the Marine Corps 4 years, and that's kind of straightened my life out. And then I discovered golf, and that's why I eat it, I sleep it, I walk it, and I talk it. And I would live on a driving range today. If you put a bed and a tent on a driving range, I would sleep there. And if I got up at midnight, I would put a candle on and hit low wedge shots somewhere. I mean, I love this sport. I love it. I owe it everything that I have. And I've got this guy right here, my wife, my daughter, and 3 other kids, and it's done so much for me. If I lived to be 150, I would never be able to repay it. And I'm going to tell you something. This is why I tell people every day. The reason I do this and the reason that I promote it and I play it like I do now is because the Lord, for some reason, gave me a tremendous amount of talent. And I'm going to meet him pretty soon. And I damn sure don't want him to be disappointed. Because you know why? If he's disappointed, I'm probably going to have to caddy for Arnie. He's going to have to put me on Arnie's bag. Yeah.
Well, it's a choice.
I mean, that is amazing.
Wow.
To not only have that perspective, but also to hit you with the line of, I'm going to meet him soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to disappoint him. And you're all like, oh, man, that's so heavy. And then here comes Lee with the zinger, because then I'll have to caddy for money. That's
because
awesome,
the other zinger could have been, don't ask my other 4 wives. So,
hey, listen, nobody's perfect, Ronas. Get way to step on that moment.
Well, and your
curmudgeon,
sarcastic, misty-eyed might actually be true right now after watching a statement like that.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was-
no doubt.
that-
No
that
doubt.
was,
no. I mean,
was-
that's one of the best lines I think I've ever heard.
Yes.
Followed with the sobering act of, we're all going to meet our maker hopefully someday, and him saying soon.
Yes.
Big word right there. Soon.
And yet he looks so vibrant.
He looks unbelievable.
How old is he?
How
I was
old-
thinking
yeah.
that.
I think he's 85.
He looks like he's 60.
Yeah, he really does look good.
I know you.
He's He's a very underrated
superstar,
ambassador,
of course,
of the game of golf. Very
Way
underrated.
better than Gary Player.
Oh, God.
Very underrated.
Oh,
yeah.
The water, the trees, the water. I'm still a Gary guy, by the way, but he's going off the rails. CJ.
Quickly, I know you're trying to end here, but in 2014, SMGA, we helped start President Bush's Warrior Open a few years prior to that, which is President Bush would have a tournament of 24 post 9/11 wounded vets down in Las Colinas at Las Colinas Country Club down there. And they had a full, scoreboards, electronic scoreboards out on the course, top flight. Everything was first class. And so we went down there because we were one of the organizations they were honoring this particular year in 14. And so the Thursday morning there is a pro-am, and we get there at 6 a.m. and there's a small ballroom that they're having a buffet breakfast. And so, me and Jamie Winslow, the co-founder, we walk in, and it was just grab a plate, sit down wherever, and we turned around, and Trevino was sitting at the table with David Graham. Just the two of them.
Wow.
And nobody else. And so we were like,
let's go.
So we just sat down with him. And
were they accommodating?
Totally accommodating.
Love it.
Trevino was like, he it was a mile a minute.
Oh, yeah.
He asked us, what's
your deal? Where you from? What do you do? Yeah.
Marine, all that stuff. So, we're in, full conversation, eating eggs and bacon. It's incredible, surreal experience. And all of a sudden, President Bush walks in just regular plain, golf clothes.
Yeah.
His detail is plain clothes. They're not suited up or anything. And Trevino doesn't see him. And he walks right up to our table, right behind Trevino, and he gets right in his ear and he goes, "Excuse me, I need you to go get me a cup of coffee right now." And Trevino was like all startled, like this, because he was like that serious. And he turned around, and Trevino got up, and they both hugged each other. And the whole time Trevino was talking to us, his shorts were completely unbuttoned and unzipped. So when he stood up, he had to hold, hug with one arm and hold his shorts up with the other. And then President Bush sat down with us.
Get out of here.
And we sat at a table with Trevino, David Graham, and President Bush, Jamie and myself. And he knew us because we helped with and he really knew Jamie. And he's like, "Oh yeah, Jamie, these guys are doing great work, blah, blah, blah." And then him and Trevino just held court basically and just, started talking, and we just sat there.
What a moment.
Like, incredible.
Here.
Incredible.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
Incredible.
So is that how Lee unwinds at the Clubhouse restaurant with his pants unbuckled?
That was 6 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
They were on.
It was before the day even started.
I just got off from my tent in the driving range where I slept last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
All right, let's wrap here. Ronas, give us what's going on in your world. Anything you want to promote?
Yeah,
Beacon Hill Golf Club.
We're accepting members. We've been fortunate that we have had a good amount of members join recently because the golf course is really something special. But we are. Come on,
This is going to be
out. See the course.
This is going to be an exponentially spectacular year for that golf course.
This year is an explosion.
You guys
so
can accelerate.
I'm really excited, and all these people that are going to be coming out with unbelievable equipment.
That's right.
From Golfdom, and they're going to be
Ding,
better
ding.
golfers.
Buddy.
Yeah, like John said, there's a lot of new equipment coming. PGA Show is next week, but a lot of the new equipment is out now from a fitting standpoint, being able to come in, hit it, get fit for it. I don't know all the dates exactly right now, but pretty much everything will come out late January to late February.
Yep.
But right now, you can get fit for most of it. I know TaylorMade's out.
Come get fit for that Quantum. I got it sent to me and played it in Florida. and I really like it.
Yeah.
The quantum driver.
Quantum.
And then from a Cool Club's perspective, which you've been there out in Scottsdale.
High-end, it's like super fitting.
High-end super fitting, but we have now taken that technology and we're rolling it out. This is what I've been working on with those guys for the last year, and offer it at all our doors this year, the core technology, which is the software and how we fit there. And that's going to be rolling out to all the Worldwide Golf stores by the mid part of this year for sure. We're getting it kind of rolling right now, but we'll be in full stride here by middle part of the year. And then you'll see at Rockville included a Cool Clubs Performance Center, which is a little more elevated experience than just the standard fitting. So excited to roll that out. And of course, Worldwide Golf, you'll see some national advertisements for Cool Clubs in general.
Nice.
Excited to get the year going with all the new equipment.
And just a quick thing on that. We talk about the super fitting, right? And maybe for really good golfers and whatever. My brother-in-law, he's about a 12 handicap.
Yeah.
He went down to Orlando when it first was even, I don't even know if it was open yet.
Yeah.
And he had a Cool Clubs fitting, and he said it was remarkable. So it's really any level who wants to just know that, let's say they only want to buy a club every 5 years or 10 years, and they know if I get this fitting, I know it's perfect. It's a great way to go through it.
It's not designed for just that better player necessarily. But yes, you're right. And it's been successful, but we're expecting to really blow it up here.
Awesome. CJ, Salute Military Golf Association.
Yep, as I said, it's our 20th year. We're celebrating all year, 20 years of helping thousands and thousands of post 9/11 wounded and injured vets through the great game of golf. Go to smga.org. You can see all the events that are happening throughout the country, especially here in the D.C. area, which is our 20th annual SMGA Charity Golf Classic happening June 1st at Norbeck Country Club, and that one is smga20.com.
It's my birthday. I should bring the show out. Let's do
Please
the live show out there.
What day is it?
Yeah.
So I got a picture here of my buddy Justin Constantine with George Bush at that tournament.
No way.
And I think
Oh my goodness.
he played in it twice.
He was riding, and he rode in the seat in the bus in front of me on the way to the library for dinner there. One of those nights.
You know what?
And this article is 2015, so that's
So it
probably
was 15.
from.
It wasn't 14, then it was 15, yeah.
Oh, well, no,
So
this
it's-
is probably from 14.
Oh, yeah, because
The article came out after.
Yeah.
It just gives you an idea of the quality of work that you're doing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate
And
it.
it's
really good.
it's appreciated by all of us golf pros who get to do it every once in a while, that you put all the work in behind the scenes. So thank you for doing that. And the veterans, they deserve all of our attention.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and downloading to the Capital Golf Gang. We're just happy to be another voice in a very now expanding universe of golf podcasts and other content out there. And we are certainly happy to promote and give credit to others like No Laying Up when they do good work. So if you don't mind spreading the word about us, we would enjoy that very much. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on the Capital Golf Gang presented by Golfdom.
This has been the Capital Golf Gang. If you'd like the gang to visit your home course, send your inquiries to zabe@yahoo.com. That's CZABE@yahoo.com. And for free swag, we're all in extra large. So yeah, thanks for the shirts.
The 2026 golf season is here at Golfdom and Worldwide Golf. Oh, you heard me, it's here. Maybe not outside your window where there's snow and ice and frozen dormant grass, but it's here and alive with your upcoming winter golf getaway. It's here as you think, I need a new travel bag, like my Sun Mountain Club Glider Meridian model, the best damn travel bag I've ever owned. Or maybe you want some great high-tech thermal golf outerwear as you steal a few rounds on a 45-degree day here in the DMV. Or maybe the golf season is here as you get ready to stock up on ammunition for the season by going into Golfdom and shopping for the right ball for your game and talking to their trusted golf-savvy reps in store. All about the options you have today and then getting at least enough to make it through, 4th of July. So just like the new season of the Capital Golf Gang is here, so too is golf season at Golfdom. Get into any location in the DMV, Tysons, Rockville, and Annapolis, or shop online at golfdomgolf.com. Or wherever you go, look for the Worldwide Golf logo and get the best for your game.